With the main roster of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate finally revealed, we are all grateful for just how much of an achievement it is to have all these fighters in the same game. However, there are some characters that didn't quite make the cut that we wish did. Luckily, there is still hope in the form of the 5 DLC packs being released until February 2020. That's right, the dreams are still alive. Or are they? You see, Sakurai took to Twitter to explain a few things about what we can expect from the upcoming DLC packs. Should we be concerned or at ease? All of this and more inside Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Before we get started, allow us to say one thing. You can both be happy with the roster in Smash Ultimate and disappointed that your favorite characters didn't make it in. You're not only restricted to one feeling, so don't let anyone tell you how to feel on this matter. Now then, the roster of 70 fighters, 74 if you count the Echo fighters, and the exclusive Piranha Plant offer are not going to be the only fighters we see in the game. DLC was to be expected for Ultimate after Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, which contained over hundreds of dollars worth of DLC in the forms of new fighters, stages, and Mii fighter costumes. It was quite overwhelming, but it seems like Nintendo and Sakurai decided to make the DLC for Ultimate more streamlined and less hectic, offering all DLC packs available for the price of $24.99 US. Individually though, they're $5.99, so you'll be saving money if you just buy the Fighter Pass. The news of this DLC came as a slight sigh of relief to fans who wanted a bit more from the Smash roster, or were disappointed that they saved Ken and Incineroar for last instead of, you know, Simon Belmont and King K. Rool. That's a debate for another time though. For now, we have more pressing matters to attend to, like Sakurai's tweets from November 6th. These tweets were in English, so you know he wasn't messing around. Here's what they said. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's DLC lineup is now complete. This time, the selection was made entirely by Nintendo. I decide if we can create a fighter based on their selection, then come up with the plan. It's great to dream about your favorite character joining the battle, and I appreciate your passion, but please try to stay on topic when replying to tweets and refrain from flooding us and other users with requests when we're not specifically asking for feedback. Thank you. Simply put, Sakurai said this.
Shut up! Oh my god, I don't care!
Basically, no matter what you ask from Nintendo and Sakurai, the roster has been chosen. It's set in stone. And unless we see another Smash ballot, your suggestions won't mean anything to them unless it's already a part of their plan. The most telling part of this tweet is that Nintendo were the ones entirely responsible for picking out the DLC fighters. The most Sakurai did was decide which one of their suggestions would be possible. So you know what that means. Sorry Banjo-Kazooie, sorry Crash Bandicoot, sorry Rayman, sorry Goku— actually not you. Geno might still have a chance, but not that much of a chance unfortunately. Maybe in the next Super Smash Bros. Game, fellas. So with that in mind, is Nintendo holding back potential DLC fighters from the game? Yes they are. But is that really a bad thing? You see, the point of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is to celebrate over 20 years of the franchise's history, so it's only natural that Nintendo be the ones to select the DLC fighter roster. After all, Super Smash Bros. Was made with the intention of being a fighting game for Nintendo's All-Stars, so why would they pick someone like Doom Guy to be a DLC fighter? I mean, that makes no sense. Nintendo has definitely chosen characters from their own franchises in order to strengthen their IP, and there are hundreds of possibilities from their decades-long library of games. So, let's think of some right now. The first one has to be incredibly obvious. the protagonist from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Given Smash's history with Fire Emblem characters, as well as including more through DLC in the last game, this one is all but confirmed at this point. If not the protagonist, then how about one of the other playable characters from the game? Elderguard, Dimitri, or Claude? There is a lot we still don't know about Fire Emblem Three Houses to decide which would be best. But safe to say, we'll see a character from this game be included as a fighter sometime after the game releases. Now let's talk about ARMS. We were certain that ARMS would get some representation in Ultimate. Even though the roster was finalized before the release of ARMS, that wouldn't stop Sakurai from talking to other development teams at Nintendo to see what they were working on. Turns out, the most ARMS representation Ultimate is getting is Springman as an assist trophy. Now, it would be weird to have him as both a playable character and an assist trophy, but other characters like Min Min and Twintelle still have chances to make it into Smash. Min Min and Twintelle are fan favorites, so including them in Ultimate would be very exciting. Another character we were certain would make it into the roster was Rex, or Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Our dreams for this were dashed in the last Direct, where Sakurai confirmed that it was too late for Rex to be included. So what we're getting instead is a Rex Mii costume with Pyra's blade. It's good, but is it enough? If Rex was an assist trophy, we wouldn't be having this conversation, but it might be more likely to have Rex as a fighter and a Mii costume. Call it a hunch, but we don't want this dream to die just yet. There's also room for other Xenoblade Chronicles characters to make it into the DLC roster, but having them included instead of Rex would feel kind of dirty. Then with a new Pokemon game coming out late next year, maybe it's time for a new gen Pokemon to make their way into the roster. Obviously, our uncles don't work at Nintendo, so we can't possibly think of what this new generation Pokemon would be. But we have also mentioned that Decidueye would be a welcome entry. I mean, just look at it. It screams, please put me in Smash. The DLC packs will be releasing all the way up to February 2020, so we could see a new generation Pokemon after or just before the new Pokemon game launches in fall 2019. And bear with us for this last recommendation. Geno. Out of all the Crashes and the Raymans, Geno is a character that makes the most sense. He is a love child of Nintendo and Square Enix from Super Mario RPG. He's a spirit in the World of Light adventure mode, and he was even a costume in Smash for Wii U and 3DS. Not to mention he's even a playable character in Project M, although we don't think Nintendo really pays attention to that scene. Sakurai knows people want Geno, and so does Nintendo. If you really want these people to shut up, you will give them Geno. The time is now, so put him in. Maybe closer to the release of the first DLC pack, we will make a dedicated video discussing other possible fighters and stages. But for now, we want to state that Nintendo choosing the DLC fighters is not a bad thing, not by a long shot. Sure, you won't get those popular third-party characters, but at least you'll have more of a reason to return to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate well after its December 7th, 2018 release. Not like you already won't have a reason to keep returning to it. Ultimate contains so much content within a $60 price tag, and it might just make every other Smash game obsolete after its release, with the exception of Melee, because we know nothing will ever stop the purists from playing that game. Sakurai has already done so much for us, the Smash community, that he definitely deserves a long break after this game's completion, and maybe, dare we say it, get someone else to work on the next Smash game, with him being maybe a creative producer or something less intense. We need him to work on Kid Icarus Uprising 2 after all. But let's hear it from you. What DLC fighters and stages do you want to see in Ultimate? In the meantime, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you liked this video, and if you are new, subscribe and click that notification bell to know when we upload another video regarding Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the Nintendo Switch, and our other series, Game vs. Game. Our newest episode being about Red Dead Redemption 2 vs. 1, so be sure to check that out at the end of this video. We'd also like to thank our glorious patrons for all their contributions to the realm, including royal producer Kenyatta Ali. Visit patreon.com/commonrealm to find out how you can join the ranks in exchange for some awesome perks and swag. That's all for now, girls and guys, so we will see you next time on the Commonwealth Realm.